What's going on, guys? HyperX here. Welcome back to another video for Borderlands 3, and today is an exciting day because I've had the awesome opportunity to show you a couple of the new skill trees coming to Borderlands 3 as part of the upcoming updates. Now today's focus is on Amara and Flak, so if you guys want to check those out, then we've already got a video for Amara on the channel, and of course this one is for Flak. And then later on this week, we'll be speaking about the other two. So if you want to take a look at what this new skill tree is going to offer you, how it's going to sort of change the way that you can play the game, and just take a look at every single skill in the skill tree, then this is where you want to be. So if you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. If you have any questions, by all means let me know in the comments down below. And of course keep it locked because we've got plenty more Borderlands stuff coming your way. So, turning our attention to Flak's brand new tree, the purple tree. This is the Trapper tree. The focus for this one is largely speaking again on your pet and being much more sort of tanky and defensive. There's a lot of sort of shield capacity, sort of survivable, defense increase skills in this one. So for those of you that want to kind of double down on the pet playstyle, then this, paired with say other trees, could make for a rather interesting combination. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to focus on, the skills that are in this tree, not necessarily worried about making a build per se. So I've unlocked every single skill in the tree. Probably wouldn't actually do that, but either way. Let's start off at the top. Your new action skill is called Gravity Snare. With this one, Flak tosses out a trap that knocks up and temporarily stuns nearby enemies. After being deployed, that trap will then periodically continue to knock up and stun enemies for the duration. But when you're standing near the trap, you can also press E to pick it up, ending it prematurely, and depending on, of course, the timing, it will then also refund a portion of the remaining duration. So that is basically, hence the name Trapper. You throw down a trap, throw it into the midst of a group of enemies, and then of course, yield benefit from there. As is always the case, you can change the behavior of this, and we'll touch on that in a moment. Of course, your pet for this one is now an ion loader, at least that's the default one. The mini ion loader bot companion is armed with a shock sniper rifle and homing shock orbs, which you can shoot to trigger a shock nova. And while accompanied by this one, you gain increased elemental damage resistance. You can also, of course, hold down the attack command to fire a powerful eye laser. So that's your default pet. Looks kind of cool, definitely I'm more here for the bots and whatnot. I love my mechs. But anyway, that aside, let's talk about some of these skills. So first up, you gotta go fast, where Flak's pet gains increased movement speed and damage. You then have Success Imminent, where whenever Flak's or their pet's shield breaks or is filled, then they and their pet create a radiation nova, and the skill has a short cooldown. You also have Agility Training, where Flak and their pet gain increased reload speed. Then on the second line, we have Better Toys, where Flak and their pet gain increased shield recharge rate and improved shield recharge delay. You also have your 1-point skill, Combat Veterinarian, where whenever Flak shoots the same enemy that their pet is attacking, Flak's pet gains a portion of the damage dealt back as health. So again, good ways to keep your pet alive. Outside of that, we also have Throat Ripper, which is a hunter skill, and Flak's pet attacks have a chance to score a critical hit, dealing increased damage. Then on the next line, this one I actually really like, the Lethal Force Authorized, where whenever Flak's pet would normally go into fight for your life, which, from my previous experience happens quite a lot with pets, it will instead turn into an XP loader, and it will seek out a nearby enemy before self-destructing, so at least if it's going to go down, it can be useful to you. It of course then deals damage to all nearby enemies, and Flak's pet's respawn time is then reduced. On top of that, you also have Take This, where Flak's pet gains a copy of Flak's shield. So of course, again, leaning more into making your pet, slightly tankier, more survivable, that kind of thing. You then have Monkey Do, where Flak's pet gains increased critical hit damage, and whenever Flak's pet scores a critical hit, Flak's next shots deal bonus damage based on their weapon damage. You also have Woolly Armor, where while Flak's shields are full, their pet gains damage reduction. And you also have Not Even a Challenge, where whenever Flak's pet kills an enemy, Flak gains increased action skill duration and increased skill cooldown rate for a short period of time, and this effect can stack. Loving the icon for this next one, Fuzzy Math, kind of reminds me of something from Zelda, like, Majora's Mask kind of masks. Anyway, that aside, this one, whenever Flak or their pet scores a critical hit, a portion of Flak's and their pet shields are restored. You then have Keep Them Safe, where whenever Flak issues an attack command, if Flak's or their pet shield is less than half full, a portion of Flak's and their pet shields are restored, and this skill has a short cooldown. And then finally, your capstone skill is Capacitance, where whenever Flak activates their action skill, they gain greatly increased shield capacity for a short time and immediately begin recharging their shields. This skill has a short cooldown. So again, leaning more into that kind of tanky, survivable behavior. However, on top of that, you can of course modify your skills, so leaning more into the actual trap itself. You have your Augment, which is Forage, where whenever an enemy trapped by Flak is knocked into the air, they drop ammo, health boosters, and shield boosters, so basically turning him into like a leaping pinata, kind of useful. You then have the second one, Wide Net, which I feel like will be a staple if you happen to go to this tree, which just increases the duration and the radius of the trap, so meaning you can snare more things. You then have the ability Trap card, where if Flak would go into fight for your life while their trap is readied, they automatically throw their trap at the enemy that downed them. And then finally, if you want to change how it behaves, instead you go Blind with Anger, where your trap will no longer knock up or stun enemies, but instead it will confuse them, causing them to attack nearby allies for a short time. Once deployed, the trap continues to periodically confuse enemies for the duration. The confused duration is only 8 seconds, but again, that is your alternate behavior if you want to sort of lean more into that. Again, you know, kind of depending on the enemies you're fighting, that could be quite useful. As for your pet, we already know the default version is the Ion Loader, the mini Ion Loader bot. Your secondary version is the Bull Loader, where Flak's Ion Loader upgrades into a Bull Loader, discarding the sniper rifle and equipping a shotgun. Flak's Bull Loader also gains increased damage resistance and a powerful roundhouse melee attack, which sounds awesome. And while accompanied by the Bull Loader, you instead get increased shield capacity. Plus, if you issue the attack command, you will turn into a bulldozer and charge at enemies and knock them up. So that is your secondary version. Meanwhile, for your third version, you have the Warloader, where instead you discard the sniper rifle and you equip an incendiary shotgun and grenades. While accompanied by this one, you gain increased fire rate. And when you issue your attack command, the Warloader unleashes a barrage of missiles at the target. So those are your pet variations. But for the time being, that is your quick look at the new Flak skill tree. Now obviously, early days, I still need to do some testing and actually work out some viable builds for this. So this is less so about actually making a brand new Flak build, and more so just kind of showcasing all the different perks and skills and augments on the tree, so you guys have a good and clear understanding as to what this can do. Definitely interested to sort of dial more into the pet focused stuff. It's kind of a playstyle that I used way back when Borderlands 3 first came out because I just enjoyed using the pets, but obviously as we know now, Flak is definitely more useful in some of the other trees. So I'm definitely keen to sort of see, with some extended testing, quite how viable this ends up being, you know, in higher mayhem levels and just in general if you want to sort of really dial into the pet behavior. The fact that you can, you know, keep your pets alive for longer using this tree definitely does add some potential viability to that, but again, only time will tell. So for the time being, that's it. That's your look at Flak. Again, if you guys missed the Amara video, check that out. I'll also link it down below. That's over on the channel, and keep it locked later on this week for a look at the next two Vault Hunters to see what they have on offer. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget, if you haven't already done so, you can join the HyperX Gaming Discord. We've got an awesome community over there with so many different channels for you to chat loads of different topics and different games. I'm in there, the team's in there if you guys want to chat with us, find people to play with. It's just in general a great place to be. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of our future uploads.